All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start. I got a lot to talk about.
Did you hit record?
I hit record.
There you go.
Dave's here. Cheryl's here. You know, I've been reaching out to Grayson. If anybody knows Grayson, reach out to him. I haven't heard back from him the last couple times. So if you know Grayson, tell him to give me a shout. If you can't make it, Grayson, that's fine. My feelings won't be hurt. But I haven't heard back from you. So I know he was moving. That was part of it. That was a few weeks ago, though.
I'm assuming he's taking some time off. We haven't seen him on social media much. I think maybe he's taking care of himself.
I think that's great, but you got to write people to say, I'm taking care of myself. Don't worry about me. Don't send the cops or what's the word I'm thinking of? Wellness check. Don't send a wellness check out for me.
Is there a smell coming from the building?
Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot to cover this week. You just sent me a message. Oh, it's the link that we're in.
There you go.
And Dave, I want to start. I want to start with you, buddy. I want to talk to you about some rucking. And I interviewed Bill weeks and weeks ago, and I was like, I got to buy a ruck, and I got to fucking do this. And I actually had a go ruck, like an actual go ruck, and I just found myself not using it. Day to day, I found my Built for Athletes bag to be much more functional, and I'm not really a guy that goes on rucks. If I work out with weights, I like dumbbells. I like a big bag. I got the old school rec bag from years ago. I got my brute force bag, which can change weight. I use that for my dead ball overs. So I was like, fuck it. So I talked to Bill the other day. We were messaging, and I was like, hey man, I really want to do this thing. I'm sorry. I completely blew April. He's like, oh, we got to get out of jail free card. You could still do April. I'm like, all righty then. So anybody who hadn't done April yet had to the end of May to do workouts 1 and 2. So I put approximately 20% of 185 is 37. So I'm like, I'll just go for 40 because I'm such a stud. So 135-pound barbell or dumbbell, one little 5-pound black thing that comes out of the brute force bag. And I threw it on my back, and I put a towel around it because they said that would help it not shake. Yeah. But boy, did it fucking kill my lower back. You really want to level that weight. There's a reason that you want to do that. So I just said, I'm just going to walk, right? And I found myself just walking. And then I picked it up a couple of times, just kind of for the sake of it. But the fact that people are doing double what I did, so I did 5,000 meters, and people are doing 10K essentially, which means they're moving.
Well, actually, I think Jarrett did like 14.
Well, fuck that guy. Come on. He's a world record holder, but there's a lot of people in the 10 plus. Dave, what did you use for your equipment, and where did you fall on workout number 1?
So for that one, I used just the regular ruck bag that I use for when I do DEKAs, because I was able to get it's the same amount of weight for me, and so I had it in there, and I got a little over 9K.
Okay.
So, I mean, I didn't go all out either. I didn't really know how I would pace that. So I probably left a little something on the table, but at the same time, it wasn't important enough for me to retry it.
Right. Well, and if I did have a plate, and that was the other thing, I was like, I just got to get this thing done. I went online. Yeah. I was like, give me a cheap bag. I ordered like a $40 one. And then I almost still bought a plate, which was like $50 or $60. And I was like, fuck it. I'm not spending $100 today. Fuck it. I'm spending 50. The bag came. I did it. But I can see how it would be a lot easier to move, tighten the thing as like you want it, and get it going. Because I also I stopped at one point to readjust and whole thing. So then we get to workout number 2, which is number 1 was how far can you go in an hour. Number 2 is how heavy can you go in a mile. Yep. And Dave, strong guy, likes to post his workouts, likes to come up with interesting challenges. How did that go, Dave? What was the number in pounds and or kilos that you'd like to share with the audience? And how close to a mile did you get?
Not even close. It was about 270. And the
270 which?
Pounds, not kilos. Jesus Christ. Okay. No.
Okay.
Yeah. So really what happened, I'm strong enough to carry the weight. That's not really a big issue. So I got it all set up. The problem though is my setup, and I mean, Mark Jones messaged me after to tell me idiot, Pretty much. He's like, your setup is shit. You can't do that much weight with your setup. It's just not going to work.
But nobody's typically putting 2.5 times their weight on themselves, except for people who live in indigenous or whatever countries that they have to carry,
and then
water for 50 miles.
And then you create a good setup. Like you would like, if I really wanted to carry 270 pounds, I would get like a yoke and put it across and spread it like that. Right. But this was just makeshift. So, I mean, I had ruck, like my regular one that I use. And then I had like a weight vest over top, and then another one, and that backpack just full of dumbbells and shit. And then a rec bag on top. And it was just everything I could find, right? Just throwing everything in there to add more weight. And everything was pretty good, actually, for about the first, like I said, about 400 meters. And then because the straps were just not built for that, it just started digging into my shoulder so bad. It literally felt like it was cutting it. And I thought to myself, I'm like, my legs feel fine. My back, my core feels fine. Neck's a little stiff from the rec bag pushing on it from the extra weight and stuff. But that shoulder, I'm like, I'm going to get hurt. And I just pulled the pin. I said, forget it. And I'll go back and try again. The reason was I thought, okay, well, this is the one where I know I'm strong enough. And I looked at the scores. I'm like, I can go for it. And so maybe, do something cool, get up on the leaderboard, but nope, epic fail. It happens. I just didn't have the setup for it. And, shit happens. Probably didn't help that I ran 4 DEKAs like the following thing the day before and stuff. So.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. If you didn't get very far, how many days do you need to try to retry it?
Well, I might retry it on Friday, but I'll probably, because I'm not going to retry the same thing. Because like I said, the setup, it'll just do the same thing again. I'll probably just throw in like maybe, 185, 200 pounds, something like that, and do that.
What's the setup that other people are using, and what's the leaderboard look like? Like, I don't even know what you're kind of shooting for.
So the guy on the top of the leaderboard actually shockingly lives about 15 minutes from me. And I didn't even know this guy before this thing.
You sturdy Canadians.
He used a giant canoe bag, and he just filled it with sand. And mind you, it's the whole mile took him like almost 50 minutes to do it. And
well,
and he's a big man too. He's from my understanding, I haven't met him personally, but I think he's like over 250 pounds. Like, he's a big man.
And how much weight did he carry? Do we know?
Like 310 or 315.
Oh my goodness.
I hadn't thought about that part, that you can take as long as you want. So could you crawl?
As far as I know, it's just a matter of getting there, and then the time is merely a tiebreaker for people who have the same weight.
Well, because even one of the things I thought about was, because it was digging in my lower back, I wanted to carry it on my shoulder, just unstrap it and carry it like a rec bag. And then I was like, and it felt easier immediately. And I thought, well, this might be cheating, because it's kind of easier. So I quickly, this was while I was all doing it, I quickly typed into ChatGPT, and Chat said, well, actually the way you're doing it is harder over on your shoulder, because it's not being distributed. So it's probably not cheating. So I did it for a little bit longer, and then I realized, oh, it's easy because I switched. Now it's harder, and I'm going to switch it back. But I was looking in the rules. Does rucking mean on your back? Like, could you front carry, which again wouldn't be easier, but could you do it?
It seemed like, well, the one thing, I mean, you would think if you could like distribute that load, some to the front, some to the back, you might be easier. But it seemed like they would allow like a weight vest, like a normal weight vest, and then that was kind of it on the front. In the beginning, a lot of us kind of went out there as soon as they come up with this challenge. Well, I'm just going to get my significant other to sit on my shoulders and go walk a mile. They said you're not allowed to carry live beings. Okay. So they shut that down, which, whatever. But yeah, I mean, and let's be honest, with the Ruck Race League, the rules are it's very much honor system, right? Like, I could have very much just said, yeah, I did it, 270, 275, and claim it, right? So it's very much the honor system. So I think it's just a matter of, if you think it's cheating, it is.
Well, like I said, it was easier at first, and then I just thought, is that because I'm stronger up here? Like, I was completely overthinking it. I just didn't want to listen. I'm semi-public in our world, and I didn't want to be called out for cheating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and I wanted to be honorable about it. But it was easier initially just because I moved it. It's like, oh, thank God it's not digging in my back anymore. But yeah, for the total weight, it seems like it would make sense to have some in the front and some like you see, like you, Cheryl, you're asking the setup. I saw some woman the other day, and that's what she had. It was like, just shit sticking out of the back, and like that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to put some weights in the bag and put my rec bag on my back and start walking. Like that's just to me the easiest way to do it, right?
Yeah. It's like you say, though, obviously, like anything, the closer you can keep that weight to you, the less that sticks out the back, the easier it's going to be. That's why the plates work so well, right? Because it's so condensed as opposed to big sandbags and other stuff sticking out the back.
Right. And when I interviewed him, he said, listen, you could go downhill and go faster, and we're not going to be the ones this isn't the workout for you if you want a videoed leaderboard. And I get that, but I feel like even the way we submit is just a picture, right? It's not even a link. And I think a link is wouldn't that be better? Just like, hey, make it a link, which again, you and I know you can manipulate data, but at least a link you can look at versus a picture.
Yeah, I think, when they first announced this, right? We never did get to talk about it, but I was kind of like two minds of it. One was this would be incredibly hard to catch anyone who really wants to cheat. And the leaderboard could get really, really messed up. And it's true. It still can. It still absolutely can. So I think they took the only approach I guess they could, which is, we can't catch the cheater. So we're just going to say, hey, don't be a dick. And hopefully everybody listens. I don't know. Who knows? There could be plenty of people exaggerating what they did or whatever, especially on this last one, because you didn't even have to weigh your stuff. You could have just had whatever there and said it weighed this.
Right.
Right. So it is very much an honor system thing.
The way that
one of the reasons I don't take it very seriously.
No, and neither do I, but I wanted to support, Bill. I liked him. I'd never met him before. I liked him right away, and I want to support his cause. And he's been doing fitness stuff for a long time. But because he is in that space, I do wonder why, we're going through this thing called Strongest Compete, which is like another competition corner. There is a way to upload video. So even if you never checked it, just make people send it, right? Hey, show us putting your weights on the scale. Show us starting and finishing the workout, whatever it is. And then if they never check it, it just keeps people honest. And, people will always find ways to cheat, right? Mm-hmm. But why not at least throw that on there?
I've always thought especially with virtual competitions, and CrossFit kind of did it this year, and to be perfectly honest, is something I'd like to see DEKA implement one day, is the fact of you need to have a video available upon request, right? And so, yeah, you don't have to look at everybody's, but anything that looks sketchy to you, you just say, hey, I need your video.
And I think you and I have discussed for the DEKA leaderboard, if you want to go for a record, you 100% have to video it. And I don't think that's much to ask, because if you're going for a record, you're not going to accidentally drop the fastest DEKA of all time without knowing it.
And I would actually, Cheryl, you probably, I don't know how you feel about this either, but this is something I've floated a couple times. I would actually be okay that if you want to qualify for Worlds, you should have to have a video available upon request.
Well, that's certainly the one that we really need. But at least this, listen, there's two guys ahead of, I said this, I think last week, there's two guys ahead of Kevin on the strong that I've never heard of. They could be amazing people. Do I think they're going to beat Kevin at Worlds? Nope.
Yeah.
And you might say, Kevin says, hey, everyone, Kevin, very humbly and proudly says, I don't care, bring them on, I'll beat him at Worlds. However, they are taking two other people's spots, potentially.
That's it's not the 1, 2, 3 problem. It's the 15, 16, 17 problem.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah. So, that's why I look at myself, I know I do a lot of the ruck stuff, but I look at myself as like an outlier on this world. Like I do it because a little extra weight is to my advantage. I'm not deep in the culture and stuff like that. So sometimes I feel like I'm a little, almost like a black sheep in there.
Well, it's like you don't have to read, Born to Run and run barefoot to try an ultra. It's it's totally fine. You can go in and out of whatever you want. And that's why I did it. I just thought, do something that I don't want to do. trust me, as soon as I put it on my back, I was like, fuck, I have to go for an hour in this thing.
Mhm.
And I almost did bail. And it's like, come on, Matt, like that's what this is about. Like getting outside myself and trying something that I normally wouldn't try. And for the heavy one, I thought I'm going to make this way more fun. My buddy Clayton's going to come down. I messaged him and I go, hey, bring whatever you got. I'll walk with you and support you. And then we'll switch and
Mhm.
we'll make some fun social media out of it. And we'll just, and Clayton's a beefy dude. So I think he's going to be able to put some poundage on.
Yeah. If you get the setup right, that's the key. Getting the setup right so it doesn't kill you.
You said, I mean, if you mean like building like a yoke, like a legit, like we saw at,
You can't. Yeah, it's just what I'm saying by the setup is the more quality the pack you have, especially like in the padding and the way it's balanced out, the better it's going to feel. It's always going to hurt, but there's hurt and then there's injure.
Yeah,
right.
I'm picturing a few weight vests you could layer. I mean, there are ways to sort of distribute it evenly and not have it be digging into your shoulders. That would help a lot.
Yeah. And better equipment helps. That's why those things cost so much.
Right.
I saw, did you do Murph, either of you, yesterday? Dave, I think I saw you did do it.
Yeah. Cheryl, you?
No. And I have drawn, I told my husband, because he went and did Murph without me. And I told him, remind me next year to not necessarily go to HYROX Worlds. Like I'm kind of not in a position to blow up on a Murph when HYROX Worlds is 2 weeks away.
Mm.
And so it just kind of puts something in my schedule that I'm not sure, like I'm not having as much fun, right? I don't get to do a ruck because I'm training for Worlds, right? So yeah, I'm really sad I didn't do Murph.
Yeah.
Couldn't you just break it up and do it with your whatever local community or your husband or whatever, and just what's the word? Partition the shit out of it. Just take your time and.
For sure. First of all, no, I'm not going to take my time. Of course, if I'm with a group of people, I'm going to want to show them that I'm better, right? Like, why would you?
I think this is the difference. I think this is the basic difference between me and you, Cheryl.
the group of people that asked me to come, they were like, well, you got to come because you're going to beat us all. Like there was already the expectation that I was going to beat them. And so what am I going to do? Sandbag that? No, I'm not going to sandbag that. I'm going to, kill myself. And it's just too close to Worlds. And I don't know. I think there is a trade-off when you try to podium at Worlds, right? You can't do other things. And I want to do other things.
But that's the thing, right? Everybody thinks when you're preparing for these big A races, these really important things, these things that not everybody can win. It's not you show up and get a medal. It's like, I'm trying to win world championship. You don't click in when you start training and getting ready for that. All these things that you sacrifice and these little fun workouts are something you can't do because you can't risk injury. I mean, I've talked to Meg Jacoby before and she's like, I don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Because this is what I need to do to win. This is what I need to do to get where I need to be. And it's just another one of those things that is not considered when you're trying to hit a huge goal like that.
Right. Yes.
I think I have like selective competitiveness, right? Like I'll go do a 5K and know that I'm not going to win. But like if that 13-year-old is beating me in the last 100 meters, I am going to try to beat him.
Yeah.
I think
that's day out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. I think that's a happy place to be. And, I think if I got out of my comfort zone, did some more rucking kind of stuff, that's where I would be, right? It's like, let me try to just do as best I can in this event, that sort of thing. I think there's definitely a payoff. So I don't know. We'll see what next year brings.
Yeah. And then for me, I love the Murph workout. And again, I find myself as maybe a black sheep, an outsider, because I think I'm one of those people who probably gets accused of doing it for the wrong reasons and all that stuff. And
what are the wrong reasons?
He has a list.
There's a list. But I mean, because most people, I should say most people, I shouldn't say that. There are a group of vocal people who, if you're doing, sometimes if you do it and you post your time, they're upset with you. If you do it and you don't mention the sacrifice Michael Murphy made, they're upset at you. If you and this is something that happens to Canadians a lot. If you confuse Veterans Day and Memorial Day, they're very
I
mad.
live here and I still do that.
They
I
get
think we
very
actually have
mad.
3 now, don't
That's
we?
right,
Do we have
that's
3 now?
So I'm kind of on the outsider where I just really like that workout and I like the concept of it. It's so basic, it's so raw, and it's such a good test. And that's what I like it. The only thing, so it gets very frustrating to me when people kind of gatekeep it a bit. And I'm like, should I just say I'm doing the body armor workout now so I don't piss people off? Because that's what it originally was, and everything like that. So I just, I find
But
it
I
hard.
I feel like for a guy who speaks his mind pretty freely, like you seem to be worrying about the stuff too much. You worry that the ruck community thinks you're not okay. You're
Oh
worried
no, I
that
don't
Earth
care
people
if they
think you're
do.
okay.
I'm just saying that I think I'm viewed that way. I don't really care if they do.
Okay, good.
What I think that means is that there are certain communities that aren't necessarily as open to outsiders as others. And I will say the rucking community intimidates me quite a bit. I don't know if they're trying to do that, but they do. And I think the Murph folks, like I'm real careful around them as well, because I don't think I do it right.
I have found almost universally to be welcomed in whatever community I've attempted to be, except for some reason CrossFit people have a hard time with HYROX. That's been my big beef lately, is how they've got this bizarre take against us where we don't care if you power lift or you ski or you fucking do, like, we're just awesome. Go do that. We're not like, that's not as real as OCR or that's not as real as HYROX. It's like so bizarre.
No, the only thing that ever gets me that upsets me with the Murph stuff, and this does bother me, is if you go out there and you do bad reps, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But if you go out there and you do bad reps and say I PR'd and I did this and I did that, that pisses me off, because you're not really, you're comparing yourself to others.
Right.
And you're not doing it on an even playing field. So that bothers me. So when I did my little post this year, and I did Murph very, very differently. I don't know anyone who ever did it the way I did it this year, but I did like shoulder tap, strict pull-ups. I did hand release, shoulder tap, push-ups, and then squats measured to depth. So
let's go.
Yeah. Do you want to hear? I'm going to admit something now. I don't know if you recall, but I filmed Hunter doing Murph a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then Alec Blennis did it, and they filmed it, but I broadcast it.
I was on it.
Oh, good. Thanks. Thanks for helping, Dave.
Yeah.
And then this very nice couple flew me to Arizona to film this other guy's attempt. And yesterday when I woke up and I'm watching everybody do Murph, and I'm like, cool, whatever. Like, I'm not doing it. I can't do 2 pull-ups. So it's not like, oh, just do it as long as it takes. It would take me a week. Like, I'm not in pull-up shape right now. I thought, man, how bored were we during the pandemic that I was flying around recording people's Murphs? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous.
I honestly believe this. So I would love for there to be a competitive body armor workout. So we take away all the extra stuff. A competitive body, I would be all for it, man.
We were so all in on it. Hunter's thing was such a big deal. And listen, people still comment on Hunter's video today. Thank you. I get YouTube money from that, so fantastic. But I'm saying we were all talking about it, and like I was filming it, and it's just like it just made me think, like, man, the pandemic was rough. That was so important to us that we're filming we're filming a WOD and treating it like it's, the fucking Holy Grail.
It was perfect for the pandemic. You could do it on your own. It was exactly what we needed. And I absolutely love the fact that I know a community that does like a really scary hard workout on Memorial Day. I think it's a wonderful tradition.
I think so too. But you know what? Speaking of strongest compete, blah, blah, blah. When I clicked on that, because I haven't been on that site, when I clicked on that for this ruck thing, do you know what else is on that site, Dave? That you're on and some other people that we know are on?
RX1?
2021 HYROX Virtual Championships of Fitness.
Oh.
Age group winner.
I'm telling you, that's where when I click your name, that's what I see.
Yeah. I think was that the first one or the second one?
Who knows?
Okay, I won the age group in the second one. The first one, I think I was like top 5. And
nice job.
So how much smaller was HYROX that we were doing? Like, there were 2 virtual championships of fitness. Like it would be like 1 million people would be in it today.
Oh yeah. And they did a good job on that. They did a good job on judging the videos. I mean, there were still some mistakes in there, but they did a pretty good job. It was well done. I enjoyed the whole barrage of virtual challenges and races and stuff. I was down with that.
Well, when Hunter broke that record or set the record or whatever, he said, "Hey, I think next year let's do this. Let's get big athletes. Let's get sponsors behind it." But then, like, you know, a lot of those like really good Hunter ideas, he gets excited about something else and he forgot about it. But I think it would be really cool.
By the way, we didn't actually mention this. Alec Blinnis is the only
correct
world record holder. He's the legit world record holder.
Correct. And his video gets far less views.
Yeah, well, he's not all that kind of hype that Hunter was, but he's legit.
The one you commented on.
Yeah. He did it right. He went to a track. He did it he did it legit. I think is inarguably the fastest.
He's amazing, but not flashy.
I think so too.
And anyone who says they did 25 minutes is full of shit.
Well, the other workout I sent you, Dave, was the first CrossFit workout of the 2025 CrossFit Games. Run, row, run. Will you be taking on run, row, run, Dave?
I will do it just because you're doing it there. But normally, I mean, that's just like a normal workout for us, isn't it?
Well, it's just so HYROXy that I just thought, hey, everyone should fucking be posting their times.
So I was actually listening to another podcast called Clydesdale Media that my friend Carolyn Prevost on, and they were talking about it. And they apparently, and please, if I get this wrong, feel free to correct me. Apparently, they've made it now the community workout at the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, that's what made me actually think of doing it. Was they're doing it that just like they did the 5K last year. Anyone in Albany, meaning whoever's listening to this, or you or I, as long as you buy a spectator ticket, I guess, to Albany, you'll be able to do it up there.
So they were saying that from CrossFit's perspective, they probably shouldn't have done that because some HYROX Elite 15 person is going to come by and make them all look like a fucking piece of shit.
It's just such an endurance thing, right? Like anybody in HYROX would have no problem.
Could you imagine if Meg or Lauren showed up to do that?
Well, Meg used to live in upstate New York, right? She could go.
Would be her second workout of the day.
Yeah. Like it would be like a tempo run.
Right, yeah. Go up there, HYROXers, if you live anywhere near Albany.
Or like Dylan Scott just rolls up there and smashes out like
just does a little something before dinner.
Yeah, before his airport workout.
Well, I if you saw the video, I have never done that workout, and it was 84 degrees outside and it was incredibly humid. And when I came in and sat on the rower, it was kind of like me sitting on the air bike that first DEKA Strong. It was like, nope, lying down.
Well, 4 miles to begin with. I mean, it takes it out of you if you're not up for that.
But again, it's like in your mind, you're like 4 miles. I can run 4 miles. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel that long. It was just very hot. And I never have actually rode 3,000 meters in a row. I've rode a lot of thousands. I've rode a lot of 250s and 500s. So yeah, it's one of those things that's like, once you're into it, you're just like, all right, well, I'm just here till this fucking thing is over.
Like 3,000 meters realistically doesn't take you that long. Like it's the road, the run takes far longer. Like the road.
No, it does. But it's just, and then getting up and then like, oh shit, now my legs have to work again.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Strict endurance though. Really good stuff.
Anyway, it's a fun workout. And just, I wanted people to do it because I thought, but yeah, I was messaging some people and, AJ said he would do it, and I was like, AJ, get on it. He's like, I got New York this weekend. I'm like, all right, fine. When you're done with
that's New York. You kind of caught it at a bad time. You got New York, and then everybody's getting ready for World.
Well, as soon as I did it, I realized I was like, oh fuck, it's Memorial Day weekend. I realized that was really the big fuck up, but it wasn't until after I had done it. So anyway, if anybody does it, please tag me, bro.
Listen, I think we're all going to need something to do this summer. You know, we're all going to get done with all these seasons, and sure, there's a couple of DEKA fits, but for the most part. Yeah, let's come up with some group workouts this summer that we can do.
I'm still waiting for Matt to do mine.
Well, and I'm doing yours.
Oh, yeah, you too. You do it after World.
Your stupid workout is way too heavy and way too hard, Dave. I can't do yours.
Way too heavy.
messed my
Well,
husband
wait,
up.
we didn't say what it was publicly last week. We talked about it off the record. So now do you want to tell people what it is?
Yes, but like we haven't really, like we're just testing things, right? And then we're not even 100% sure on the name. But yeah, basically it's a 9-zone workout. You only need two dumbbells and a spot to run, or sometimes not even a spot to run, just the 2 dumbbells.
Okay, so tell people what it is.
Okay, geez, I don't have it written in front of me. But you'll do basically the basics. The basis is either you're using higher weight and low reps, or lower weight and high reps. The movements are burpees over dumbbells, then you got squats. Oh, here we go. Then alternating dumbbell snatch, single arm, and walking lunges, suitcase style. So 1 dumbbell in each hand. Renegade rows. So renegade row is a push-up and then a row. That's 1 rep.
I had to Google, I think, 2 of the things that you put in there that
I did, and I sent you the video. Goblet surrenders. So essentially hold it 1 dumbbell in a goblet form and do surrenders. Floor chest press. So essentially lie on your back and do a bench press with the dumbbells. Dumbbell sit-up. So dumbbell behind your head, 2 in between your legs. And then the final one is hanging clean press. So 2 dumbbells, one dumbbell in each hand, hang clean and press overhead to lock out. The weights. So if you do level 1, you're only doing 10 reps. Well, maybe you go the other way. If you're doing level 3, it's 30 reps, 35-pound dumbbells for men, 20 for women. Level 2, 20 reps, 50-pound dumbbells for men, 35 for women. And level 1, 10 reps, 70-pound dumbbells for men and 50 for women.
So 35 pounds, 30 times.
Yes.
So 35 pounds, is that the deadly dozen weight?
I think so. I know it's a DEKA Atlas foundation weight for men.
And then option to not run in between, or run 200 meters in between, starting with a run.
That's right. You start and finish with a run.
Start and finish with a run. 200, 400, and 800 meters. Is that correct?
Yep. So you get 2K, 4K, or 8K.
Right. And I was, so I was looking at doing just the big one, right? Just lots of reps, like lightweight, lots of reps, and the run. And I'm thinking an hour plus. I mean, it's going to take me a while to get that done.
So I don't know anyone. I haven't had anyone yet try the level 3, so the 30 reps with the long run. So I don't have a gauge on that one yet.
I'll be your person. I'll be your person.
I do have a gauge on the heavyweight and the 8K, and that was just under an hour.
Okay.
Right. So for deadly, the deadlift is 32 kb, which is 65, right?
32 kg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's around 60.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
The lunge is 12 and a half, which is 25.
What's the shoulder to overhead?
Shoulder to overhead. You mean the clean and press?
Yeah.
The clean and press. This isn't right. Oh, it's a 15 pound. It's a 15 weight plate.
Oh, 15 kg weight plate. Yeah, but isn't there a shoulder to overhead press?
Yeah.
Snatch, BBJ, goblet squat, front carry, push press. Is that what you're saying?
Push press. Yes.
Push press is 12 and a half kg.
Yeah. So like 25 pounds.
25. A little lighter.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't say it doesn't say the weight reps. It just says these are the weights.
I think they're all 60s, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, like 60, I think every movement is 60 except for the double press at the end is 20.
Okay, here it is. Here's pounds. The KB is the one slide and pounds is the next. So the pounds, where did it go? I just lost it. 30-pound push press, 35-pound clean and press, 35-pound overhead carry, 25-pound devil press. That's the push up to the overhead.
So that's just it's a little lighter than what my thing is.
Right. So just that's right. But deadly dozens. But I think deadly dozens a nice weight for the men. I think yours is
a nice weight for you. Matt, you can do it.
I guess.
But you're doing 60 reps as opposed to here you'd only be doing 30.
All right.
I am totally up for this. I think we should pick a weekend. I think we should just.
We'll wait till after World Champs, I guess.
Yeah. And this thing, I have some other people that are going to be doing testing as well, but I've told everybody who is going to Worlds, do not do it till after Worlds. I don't want any, just the nightmare of me seeing
nobody gets hurt,
accidentally hurting themselves and not being able to go to Worlds. I'm like, so don't, if you're racing Worlds, do not touch it.
Well, and really with the training, like we are just, all our training is so specific right now.
Yeah.
You really don't have time to be expending energy on random stuff. So
Exactly.
yeah. So we got
So
a
yeah,
couple.
so this is something I've made. This is something we're not quite sure where we're going with yet, but we're doing some testing.
This
And
could
what
this could be our new Independence Day tradition. We got a Memorial Day workout, and then we can do an Independence Day workout.
basically what I know is it is a very good full body. It hits everywhere. And
That's what the husband said.
that's right.
Do you know what he calls it? Do you know what he calls the
what's that?
workout? He calls it the Ugly Dave.
I think that's a great name, right?
Well, to be honest, right now we have it called the UTX, which was short for Ugly Truth.
I was thinking
And you have
maybe
an X in there because you have to have an
We
H
like
or an
X's.
X.
Everything is better with an X.
Right. Or an H or an
H. I mean H or an X, right? So anyway, but yeah, but it hits everything. And the point of it was to make different levels where not each level, like just because the heavy weights is not necessarily harder than the light weights because you're doing so many more reps. So it was to make it so that one wasn't a beginner level and then an advanced level. Everything was its own kind of unique challenge. And the same person who would win, the level 1 with 0 running is most likely not going to be the same person who will win the level 3 with 8K.
Mm-hmm.
So it would move around a lot. So, and then the fact to just only need 2 dumbbells. So you could literally go to a track with 2 dumbbells and do the 400, the 800, or even use the football field in the middle to do the 200, or just a spot in the middle of the floor to do none. Like you could, for the no one, you can do this in a closet.
All right. Well, listen, remind me next week because this week I'm going to do the heavy ruck before the end of the month.
The heavy ruck.
All right. We got a couple big HYROX topics to talk about. We got payouts and we got drug testing. Which one would you like to talk about first?
Oh, Cheryl, your choice.
Drug testing.
Okay.
Just because I sent you the link that the enhanced games was all over my social media this weekend. They have announced that next year at Resorts World in Las Vegas, that's where they're having the competition.
So I wanted to save my takes for this to the show. I saw your message and I was on a Zoom call with Aaron D'Souza, who is the president or whatever of it, a year and a half ago. And I wasn't that impressed. And I remember thinking, I don't think this thing will ever happen.
I remember you saying that.
And then sure enough, it went from at the end of 2023, it was like it's going to happen in the end of 2024. And sometime in 2024, it was this is definitely going to happen beginning of 25. And then now, a week ago, I heard, hey, we have something massive coming, an announcement. I didn't know that announcement was coming with this swimming attempt. And hey, here's our date and city for next year, which is 2026. So I put it now closer to 50-50. I still think there's so much more that has to happen. They clearly put a shitload of money into this one thing and it clearly worked. They're getting a lot of PR. Some people because they want to crap on it, some people because they think it's pretty cool. But to still actually put on an event where you have participants flying in from all over the world and competing in it and wanting to do it in, I don't know, what are the events? Cheryl, did you look? There's like 6 events.
I didn't see what the events were.
All right, let's look them up. And
Okay.
then
Powerlifting's got to be one of them.
And then we'll talk about HYROX. HYROX drugs.
They're gonna have powerlifting. Gotta
have powerlifting.
Gotta have powerlifting.
I want to know what you think about this, Dave.
Like the concept?
Yeah.
May the best chemist win. Honestly, you know what? I don't have a problem with it. It's their choice, it's their call, and all the cards are on the table. So be it if that's what they want to do. I mean, I'm interested. It could be a freak show, but I will guarantee if it's streamed, I will watch it. I'll check it out. And why not? I mean, it sounds like kind of a thing I would rage against because it's not, maybe it's not moral, but they're not cheating. So have at it. And just think of the sponsorship opportunities that, these companies that regularly would have to hide. And now, we're out front. We're sponsoring this.
Okay. So May 21st through 24th at Resorts World in Las Vegas.
Yes.
It'll have 4 swimming events: 50 meter, 100 meter freestyle, 50 meter, 100 meter butterfly, and then track and field, 100 meter sprint, 100 meter hurdles, 110 meter hurdles. It's interesting. It doesn't say men and women. It says for XX athletes and XY athletes. That's referring to your chromosome.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
Nice.
I
Interesting.
think that's an interesting way to put
That
it.
might be the most interesting part.
I like that.
I'd never seen that till just now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Weightlifting, snatch, and clean and jerk.
Okay.
Prize structure up to $500,000 per event, 1 million bonuses for breaking select world records. For example, Greek swimmer Christian Kalakami reportedly earned $1 million.
Shut up about this guy.
Reportedly earned $1 million bonus after surpassing the 50-meter world style record while using PEDs.
Yeah.
The one thing, and this is the one thing that gets me, that is going to be difficult in getting buy-in, is any athlete who goes into this is
It's
pretty
over.
much said, I'm done with
Well,
every other sporting event.
well,
Yeah.
it means you're either retired from professional sport or you're some age grouper that wants to make a name for yourself.
Yeah. Aside from like World Strongmen could go because their sport's not, there's no testing there. So they could go in there and try some of the powerlifting and stuff. That's why I thought powerlift, I think that in this event, this would be a great event to bring in the bench, squat, deadlift combo and just bring it in here, because the guys and women who are going to do that are probably the strongman type people.
So why
and they're already juicing anyway openly. So
why are they only doing snatch and clean and jerk, do you think?
I think they did that because those have been removed from the Olympics, haven't they? I know the Olympics kind of took away some weightlifting stuff. So that's my guess anyway.
So Cheryl, as our woman on the street, okay, as we get closer and closer, I want you to talk to your contacts in and around Resorts World and find out what's happening.
I will do my very best. I think you think that all of us people in Las Vegas know each other, and maybe we do.
Well, I think as a part-time unpaid volunteer employee for Hybrid Fitness Media, I'm instructing you to go down there.
Let's go. Yeah, I'll do my best. I think if you're going to have an event like this, Las Vegas is absolutely the perfect place to have it.
Yeah.
We have the Paris, we have the New York. None of it actually is really those places. This seems like these are athletes, I don't know. I just think it's perfect.
What other event is more appropriate for Sin City?
Exactly.
Well, and initially they kind of had this weird cop out when they were like, when people were asking them, like, what city would you hold it in? They were like, oh, well, who says we have to have it in one city? That's an old idea. We could have it in 10 different places. And I thought, well, that would kind of suck.
Right.
Like, you want to bring everyone together in one city.
Yeah. No,
Sure.
I think, look, I'll be your correspondent. Like I'll go watch some of this stuff. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I was going to say, would you go watch it? Because if I was in Vegas, I would go watch it. I would look at it for the sheer
honestly, it
possible
seems
train wreck.
Yeah, it seems so slimy to me. I just personally nothing against these folks. They're welcome to choose what they want. And I do think, sure, there may be a place for this, but personally, I just think with the ethical code I bring to my fitness, it seems so slimy. And so I don't know. I'll go watch.
It's interesting. It's interesting you say that. And you just made me think of a comparison in my head. And if I think back to when I was, I don't know, probably like 20 or something in that age range, do you know what came out that was considered slimy and terrible and was only just put on TVs and bars?
UFC?
Yeah, right.
It was cockfighting for humans. It was disgraceful. It was that and that. And now what is it?
Yeah, see, personally, I still think it's a little slimy.
Yeah, but it is what it is. It's massive. It
is. It's massive. But they've been this guy that broke the 50-meter world record. Like, I don't know. It just I think about the meth addicts on the street that are laying out the cops, right? Because they're so strong. Like, good for you. I don't know. You swam faster than anybody else. Good for you. I don't know. I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around it.
Cheryl, I think that's an old wives' tale. I don't think the meth addicts are out there beating up the cops. There's always these stories of the person that was like, they shot him 12 times. He kept coming. But like, I don't know if I've actually seen that guy.
Okay. I will stop being so judgmental about the meth addicts.
All right. Well, I got good news.
What do you got against meth addicts, Cheryl?
Nothing.
We've lost the meth
Don't
addict
send me
audience.
letters. Yeah.
I've got some good news for you. if you are in Vegas that week, okay, 21st to the 24th, and you stick around, okay,
Yes.
you can see Janet Jackson in that very same location a few nights later.
Okay.
You can see Bruno Mars at Dolby Live at Park MGM,
Excellent.
or Rod Stewart, who must be 100 at Caesars from the 29th to the 31st.
He's definitely juicing.
He's definitely 100. That guy, I don't know how we stand around talking about these folks and why they're still here, and it's absolutely amazing. There is actually somebody that in the entertainment community that works out at my sports club who I have had to kick out of my room before so that I could teach classes. We are knee deep in celebrities around here.
Well, as soon as we hit stop on recording, you were going to tell me who this is, because that is
absolutely tell you who it is.
That is amazing.
Yeah. No, it's a good story.
So here's what I did, because I never sleep. That's not true. I sleep a lot. But as soon as this rule book for drug testing came out for HYROX, I was like, let's look at how this compares to the CrossFit drug testing, and because there's been some news, how it compared to the World Fitness Project. So Dave's probably aware. Cheryl, are you aware of the controversy that came up around the World Fitness Project and their drug testing?
No, tell me about it. I find this stuff fascinating.
So a very well-liked athlete known as Alex Kazan, who has been on this very show, was on a podcast, and she said kind of casually off the cuff that she had taken a gummy that she thought had THC in it, not just CBD, but THC in it, the night before a competition. And internet went crazy. Spin pointed it out, Barbell Spin pointed it out, and so did some other people. And it was like, hey, what the fuck happened? And then some kind of weird stuff around it that happened. First of all, it was decided that I don't want to get it wrong, but I am. I think what she took was fine, and it was fine for out of competition testing, right? Like, it was fine. She took it like a week before, whatever it was. She's okay, and we're fine with her.
Okay.
She's already made some videos joking about it, and great for her. The bad part, the part that's not so nice, is apparently she went up to Will, who's one of the guys who started the thing, and she said something to him like, hey, is this okay? And he's like, oh yeah, we took that out anyways. Now, this would be like if this happened, in HYROX, and Rich or Meg asked the person, and without telling everybody else, there's like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, right? And certainly, if Dave Castro had done that, we would have lost our minds, right? What do you mean? You favor that athlete? That sounds like bullshit. So apparently, they changed their rule book, and then like after the fact, like they said they changed it, but Spin, of course, did his research and found it. And the old Google Doc, it was definitely not changed. So it's, at the end of the day, it's like, it's not like earth shattering stuff, but it's the kind of thing that, listen, if you're going to run a fucking league, World Fitness Project, you got to be a real sport, and you can't fuck around with that stuff. You can't be like, oh yeah, by the way, it's like how Spartan does that, right? Spartan will be like, oh, we forgot to tell you that we moved the date of the championship, or that the prize money changed, and we throw our hands up because it's Spartan. But World Fitness Project, anyways, did I get mostly that right, Dave?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure on your timeline about when she took that gummy. I think it may have been closer to the competition.
Who's taking gummies anywhere near a competition?
So my understanding is, like Matt said, she took it to help her sleep, and that's so. The deal is the THC is permissible outside of competition, but when you're within competition, you're not allowed to take it, and there's a time window of what's considered in competition. My understanding is she took it within that time window, because otherwise she wouldn't have to have asked.
Correct, right? And that's what they changed after the fact. And listen, maybe he's being honest. Maybe he meant to go back and change that document,
but they didn't actually do it.
Right.
Yeah. Now, and here's something, and I'm going to throw this wrinkle into it for you. And this, I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is, from the perspective of Alex Kazan, if she took this knowing there was THC in it, knowing it was within the time of the competition window, and then asked him about it, that means she knew it was against the world and against the rules and a banned substance. So she knowingly took a banned substance within competition time.
I think it was more like she took it and then was like, oh shit, then asked, oh shit, was I allowed to take it? It wasn't like I'm definitely going to cheat now.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if she didn't know, I
think she was asking for clarity, and instead of him saying,
no, I agree, and I agree.
Actually, you're fucked and you're DQ'd. He was like, oh yeah, we took that out, and then it was like, you did, and then when you go to the receipts, they didn't take it out, but they have now.
And that's why I agree with you. To me, that's not even a point. I mean, they fucked that up completely. If you're the rule's not changed. To me, the rule is not changed until it's changed in the rule book, no matter how often or when you said you meant to change it. You don't change it until it's gone. Until it's in
right. And that's my biggest issue. And the people that are hung up in like pot should be fine. That's not what we're arguing. Yeah, we're arguing whether it was okay, whether a person does that or not. But here's the way bigger issue. The stuff that came up out of the rule book that I want to talk about, which I have asked Matt Locke, who was on this program recently, and he very quickly got back to me and said, hey man, let's talk after Worlds. We'll get into all this stuff. So, and I believe him. Okay. So here's the two big pieces that jumped out to me. Number one, it talked about out of competition testing. It talked about out of competition testing, but didn't define when that was. With warning, without warning, because there's like rules, right? Olympics have a whole thing where we need your schedule so that we can be there. Like we need to know where you have to give us your schedule so we can come drug test you unknowing anytime.
CrossFit does that as well,
right? The second part, this is the big one. Dave, did you notice about what the DQ rules say? Did you look at what disqualifies?
No, I haven't got into enough of it yet.
All right. If you get caught, okay, Dave, you can't be shit. I want to make sure I get the word right. Let me find my thing. Hang on one second. I should have found that ahead of time.
Okay, well, he does this. Cheryl, I'm with you. Why would you take anything at all anywhere near a competition that you didn't know?
Anything. Don't you have handlers, people to help you? Don't you have things in your cupboard are completely legal? I am trying to wrap my head around being that high level of an athlete when I personally do that. Like, I'm careful about things that I take just because I want to, I don't know. I was surprised. I'm surprised.
Well, the reason I'm not surprised, Cheryl, is because people take gummies the same way people used to just have a glass of wine before getting on a plane or to go to sleep. And it's just what people do.
Those people are high level athletes.
But I think they are though.
Trade-offs when you are a high level athlete.
But I think that's where because we've come so far with the CBD stuff, I think people do think a gummy is like a glass of wine. They don't think of it as an illegal substance.
Yes, but if I'm a high level athlete, it's not, right?
Yeah, like you gotta know. You gotta know the rules.
No, look, I've had conversations with my doctor about things that my doctor wants me. That she is assuring me I'm going to feel amazing if I'm on these things. I know, and to this rule book, it's against the rules even for age groupers to do some of these meds, and I'm not going to touch them, right? Like, I know better than that, and I'm just really surprised. Unless you're used to cycling on and off, you would not even have that stuff near you. So it's really easy for me to judge because I'm just a nobody, but that's just my first thought. I would want to very much ask those questions.
Okay. So I'm get the words wrong, and I apologize. I should have pulled this up, but there's a thing called an athlete support person instead of the word coach. Basically they're using, right? So Dave, if you get caught, let's just say, no, I won't name anybody, but let's just say you, Dave, if you get caught, okay, you now can't, you get banned for 2 years, whatever the time is, and you can't work for HYROX, like you can't represent HYROX, and you can't be an athlete support person.
So you can't be a coach or anything.
Right. So how the fuck can you stop me from doing what I want to do in my gym? I'm just going to take the word HYROX coach out of my title, but I can say, come learn how to do well at HYROX with me.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to know about. You can't coach for 2 years.
If I have a coach who's currently in the Elite 15 and they got caught, they would technically not be able to coach me.
Correct. But how can they?
Does that mean I don't get to compete? They'd be like, "Look, you're associated with that person." How would they even know that?
I think it's just more like canceling your affiliation.
But that's not what it says, though. It doesn't say we're going to cancel your affiliation. I'm telling you, the language is very specific, and I can't fucking find it. I'm mad. It's very specific about appearing. Like, again, it used the term coach, which, by the way, they don't really have. Like, I've seen Anthony kind of in the start shoot or whatever, not the start shoot, but you know what I mean? And some sponsors, and like, that's not really an official role. They do need one, right? Because I'm sure at the games they probably do that, right? Like, your coach can see you at these times, but not these times, right?
Yep.
So they haven't defined that yet, and they didn't use the word coach. They used athlete support person, whatever they used. But this to me is a massive legal question, right? How can you possibly stop me from coaching? Again, I can take HYROX affiliate out of my name, but the way it's worded now is like, you can't coach.
So perhaps the athlete support person is a role yet to be defined. And maybe that's a situation where they're going to make, okay, as an Elite 15 athlete, you can have your elite athlete support person in the warm-up area. You can have them over here to yell your splits.
Like
but back to our question, why in the rule book if it's not a rule? Don't give me all these words and then not define them. Don't talk about out of competition testing, but don't tell, and then not define what out of competition testing is. So I had like 12 questions. ChatGPT helped me write half of them, but you know what I mean? Like, hey, what else should I want to know here about this very strange language? It turns out it is strict. I would say more strict, again, according to chat, more strict. Like I said, can you like compare and contrast like HYROX, CrossFit, WFP, and HYROX is at the top. So they want to have the most restrictions, I think. And then CrossFit's here, and WFP is like, they basically were saying WFP is a lot of work to do in getting there.
It's interesting though. They can say these things and they want to be this strict.
You guys keep talking. I'm definitely going to find it because now I'm mad.
They can say they want to be the top, and they want to be this strict, and they want to be that whatever, but they have to actually implement it. And it's not implemented until these tests are done. And right now they're doing tests at events to start, like Matt says, to start scheduling out of competition tests. And I know this from dealing with Carolyn, and she just recently had a random test from CrossFit done on her that she has to submit like every few months her entire schedule of where she's going to be and when, so that they can decide. So, and they did. So then they followed. They showed up one day and said, "We're an hour from your place. We're going to be there." And she was actually, she's like, "I'm at work right now. You're going to have to come to my work."
Right.
And she said, but she's literally, you have to, for example, if you've submitted your schedule and then you decide, "Oh, I'm going to go on a last minute holiday," you have to let them know where you're going to be. Otherwise, if they show up at your house and you're out on holiday, that counts as an evaded test.
Yeah, I felt like when I read the rules, just the brief overview, that this is, first of all, I have to wonder if maybe they're just borrowing language from some other place, and that's why there are terms and conditions.
It's mostly borrowed from the German WADA, which again, it's saying, that's the other part that's kind of loosey-goosey. It's not WADA, but it's based on WADA.
Right. And so that's why there are things that aren't really hooking up yet, because we don't really have the same structure or whatever. But aside from that, I really did think they can talk all they want, but until we see this start to happen, it's not going to make a bit of difference. Like, nobody's actually going to believe that as soon as they start showing up on people's doors, I think then it's going to get real. Until then, I think people are just going to continue to do what they want. They'll just cycle off before a big competition, and it's going to be fun.
Are you like me, Cheryl? I'm not even talking about the Elite 15. I'm actually talking about more below the Elite 15. Like, I think it's rampant. Like, I think
it's probably more rampant within the age groupers than it is.
And let's take away THC, because that, if you put that in there, then it's not even an argument. Everybody's testing positive.
Well, and we know that all these guys in their 40s and 50s are on whatchamacallit. 100%. I mean, I saw a guy in Atlanta who looked older than me. Stacy and I were sitting there dying in our seats. And I go, "Stacy, do you think he's on whatchamacallit?" She was like, I mean, I suppose it's possible for him to have like massively ripped body at 60, but not really.
When I compete against my age group, I fully expect 50% of the guys out there are on test.
Right. Well, and I will say that was one of the things that the doctor was pushing for me.
Mm-hmm.
There are women on that, and so I would suspect it is rampant among the age groups, and I think especially because we're usually the one with the resources, we're traveling to all these races, we want to feel amazing, and so we're going to do it. Would I prefer that we got tested sort of randomly? They're never going to test the 55 to 59 age group, so I just have to put up with what I put up with. But I do think that it's probably more rampant within the age groupers than it is the Elite 15. I can't think of an Elite 15 person that I'm suspicious of.
No, like I said, it's not the Elite 15. The Elite,
right,
the upper echelon, that's not what I'm.
No, they're doing great.
None of them would ever have done it, but I'm just saying that's not going to be the bigger group.
Right.
I'm not saying none of them would do it. I'm not saying I'm accusing anybody either, but would I be shocked if someone got popped? Of course not, because people want to get an edge.
Right.
But you think about the culture that HYROX has become and how, let's just call it visual.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
And you don't think that a good amount of people in there are doing something. When I went to the gym as a kid, 50, like easily half the guys I knew were doing something, and they weren't even competing in anything.
Right.
They just wanted to be bigger.
You want to look great. You want to feel great.
These guys have morphed into a competition, and you don't think they're still doing it. And if not more, jumping on it for sure.
For sure.
And then when they see everybody, oh, this guy's all looking shredded with his shirt off the whole time. And this woman's, yeah. It's, I mean, I've said it doesn't. I think a very high percentage of people would test positive. Agreed. So, yeah, I think I think for them to be continually coming out with this, I think is good. I think they clearly have the resources to be able to start implementing some things. And I think they wouldn't need to do a lot. They could pick one random age grouper at Worlds, and they could pick, they could do the Elite 15 and then just start doing some random testing before the majors or whatever. And I think that would be all the message they need. I don't think they need to do a lot. Just takes showing up at one influencer's house unattended and testing them and getting them caught.
Yes.
And then that would put the fear in everyone. But I'm with you. I think if they are going to do it and they are going to implement it, more testing, more trying to follow the rules, I'm great. That's awesome. I hope they do. Yeah. And I hope, I'm glad that they did. Remember at the beginning, they were against even putting it in the rule book. Right. And so now they put it in and they're following up, and I'm cool with that. I think it's great. I would just hope they follow through. And so far they have shown, as when it comes to this, they said we were going to start testing the Elite 15, and they have.
If
they say they're going to start doing this, I would think they will. They just need to get all the details together.
Yep. I don't think they're going to need to do much to have it be well known and that have people consider that they need to be careful. So, Matt, how you doing? I got to go.
Okay, you can take off. Dave and I will finish this part.
Okay, good to talk to you guys. See ya.
See you. Bye.
Bye, sure.
Because I really want to fucking find it.
He's got to find it.
Well, because the link. I can't find the link, and I know that Ian K sent it to me, so I'm looking for that. I guess I don't have to find it. It's fine. I'll be better prepared next week. I'm just annoyed because it really jumped out at me as the no coaching thing was like, what?
Yeah. I think it's just probably an undefined role. It's probably too.
But again, we've got to define these, and I hope Matt gives me answers, because I was like, hey, how are you going to define this? What does this mean? I don't know why you would put it in the rule book without. I mean, the fucking thing's 28 pages long. So I guess they just were like, all right, fuck it. We'll just get this thing out before Worlds, and then we'll figure the rest out later.
28 pages long is a small rule book.
No, just the drug part.
Just 28 pages long. I don't care. That's fine. Like I'm all for it. Like if they want to do the rules and do it right, I don't care. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I need a small rule book. No, I need an accurate rule book. That's what I want. I think it's way more important than a small rule book.
Well, speaking of rule books, I do think there is a 98 to 100% chance that we're going to have an issue because we didn't get the clarity we wanted on that Matt interview about the wall balls on the judges versus counter situation. I think, first of all, doubles is going to be so close. There's almost no way it doesn't. But singles, if it's not between first and second, it could certainly be between second and third, or 4th and 5th or any place that there's real prize money, which was announced today. So I mean, I don't want controversy. I don't want problems, but I
No.
kind of was hoping we'd get a really clear answer coming out of that interview so that we would know we wouldn't have Sean Noble 2.0.
Well, it's just like, and then maybe they clear it up in the pre-race briefing with the Elite 15, and which would be great. That'd be fantastic. But if I'm an
Could they
Elite
share it with
15,
us? Could they tell us too, or just them?
maybe just them. But like, if I'm an Elite 15 athlete and they tell me you go by that counter, and I see that counter fuck up, I'm going to be furious. And
Right.
you still can't tell me that it's not gonna, because we see it all the time. You know,
But by design, the way it's set up now is it automatically goes off. By the way, did you know that there were 2 different targets? Did you know they were
3.
smaller for the
I thought it
elites?
was 3. Then it was 2 or 3. Anyway, yeah, I did not know that until I saw that written, and I, like I said, I put a post on it, and I was like, why? I don't understand why.
Well, here's the thing. Interestingly enough, it answers the question we've been asking in OCR for a long time, which is why can't you make the rig harder for the elites and just change it for open, right? So I'm kind of okay with it. I'm not okay that none of us knew about it other than a random rumor.
I just don't think it makes any sense.
I kind of like they have a smaller target. I like it.
But why do the elites need a small? I don't get it. It's the same thing. So should they have to squat deeper too?
You make such good arguments. I can't argue with that.
I just don't. And that's my thing. I'm just like, why? It seems unnecessary. It's unnecessarily complicated and just another chance for things to go wrong.
Right, because you could have it on the wrong setting. But
Yeah.
so back to what we're saying. The whole point of the person with the board, the person holding the iPad,
yeah,
is supposed to override the board if you don't go deep enough.
Yeah.
So the board says 100, and then again, what we thought the rule was then you check to make sure that person doesn't ding you. But by what we've heard so far, I guess it could still happen. It could say 100. You leave, and then they go, actually, because he actually never quite answered.
No.
What did Sean do wrong? And I guess I could have pressed him harder. I think I did a pretty good job with him, but he still never said what he did wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
He just said it won't be the last time somebody leaves before doing 100 wall balls.
well, he said it wasn't a controversy. So anyway, I don't know what they're gonna do. I hope that nothing like that happens.
But don't you think there's like a 98% chance it does?
A huge chance between all those races. I would be stunned if at some point it doesn't go wrong. And I don't know if I made this joke with Bethany earlier. So I think that the race is on Friday. So by Sunday, we should know who won. I hope it doesn't happen like that, because it's just going to suck. I want it to go clean. I want it to work well. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to have to I want to watch the race and I want to get lost in the moment. I don't want to have any of that shit happen.
Yeah, if you'd have to go back and look at how many minutes Hunter won the world championship by a few years ago, or what Chris won, but that's not the case anymore. Everybody is fucking neck and neck, and it's going to be really close.
The doubles is going to be worse.
Oh, doubles will be insane.
By the way, it's going to steal the show. It's going to be absolutely an amazing race. It'll be awesome. I can't wait to watch it. That's what I'm looking forward to the most, is the doubles.
Really?
Yep.
I mean, I am too, but come on, dude.
No, I think it's going to be a better race than the individuals.
It might be a closer race, but I don't know that you could say a better race.
I think so. I think it'll be faster.
You're gonna watch. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, you're gonna watch Meg, Lauren, and Joanna put on a fucking show. You're telling me that's gonna be not as fun or not as exciting?
I'm telling you that's gonna be a great race. But if you told me I could only watch the doubles or the solo, I will watch the doubles.
Look at you, Dave. You're zagging. I too am looking forward to it. But on the men's side, Ronco, JK, pick your next 2 guys. Like, it's going to be insane.
Yeah, I know. But then look at the doubles, right? Jake and JK, Paleo and Rich. What's those
I guess I can't put to me, the stakes aren't as high. It's going to be cool to be a doubles world champion, but I think the stakes are still much higher. I think it's Super Bowl champion, HYROX champion. Like, you're the king of the world, king or queen of the world.
Okay, now ready for this? This is going to be right in your wheelhouse.
Okay.
When you watch a wrestling pay-per-view, do you like the championship match or the match that steals the show? And this is going to be the match that steals the show.
All right, Dave. You again, once again, it's hard to argue with you.
Yeah.
The tag team match could be the match of the night.
Yeah.
It could be better than the world championship match.
That's right. And that's what I'm saying.
You got me there, Dave. What that's
it's just
you should be a lawyer, Dave.
Yeah. Well, sadly I can't write my own name. But I'm more excited. I'm just so excited about the doubles, and I hope next year that they qualify the same way, but they give us some live streams and give it a little more attention.
Okay. Didn't they give us the live streams in the doubles, or they did the live to tape? Oh no, that was LCQ. They did live to tape.
Yeah, the doubles they did like a little bit of I want a live stream of the doubles. I want to watch that race happen in real time. I want the same quality that they do for the solo and the double.
Right.
By the way, I don't know yet, but I'm assuming that when they do the live stream of the doubles at Worlds, they won't be on the grid.
They won't be on the grid.
I'm guessing they won't be, yeah.
Because
I think they won't want to reset up and change the course all around. Anyway, we'll see. But I'm interested to see if they don't do it on the grid and they do it just like on the regular course.
The grid is on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Friday is what?
I don't know. It's good. Friday, the doubles? The doubles on Friday? The doubles and the teams?
No, wait. Friday is the relay, because remember, this was the whole argument we were having.
Okay. Anyway.
So will the relay be on the grid?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I feel like they're just going to keep them all. Well, so Thursday night is just Thursday night. It's just the World Championship. It's just the Elite 15.
Yeah.
The next day, all day, will be doubles.
Regular doubles. That's why I don't think it'll be on the grid. Yeah.
Regular doubles, and then the relay at night.
Yeah.
And then the third. Yeah, you're right. Probably won't be.
Yeah.
Great question.
So when they stream the doubles and it looks really good, they're going to prove my point that the grid is not necessary for streaming the singles.
Right. Well, I think it was last time on the call that you convinced me of that, because you were like, well, they're already the row and the farmers. And the push and the pull. It's just the only difference is the burpee broad jumps, right?
Yeah, they had the burpee broad jumps on there, but I think sometimes they've had it elsewhere too. Yeah, but so when they do the doubles, I think it'll show anyway. What I'm saying, hopefully, I don't care. Again, I want a good race. That's what I'm after most. But it's nice to be proven right every now and again too.
All right. Well, it's still too soon to make predictions, so we'll make predictions in a couple weeks, I guess. Should we talk about why I love Canada so much?
Why do you love Canada so much?
Well, Dave, first of all, some of my favorite people are in Canada.
Oh, Canada.
What are you drinking there? What do you got there? Is that a lager?
That's athletic.
No.
Oh no!
Ooh, it's not athletic.
Athletic. Triple bogey. This one is.
What's triple bogey? Eh?
Non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, okay. A different. Do you have a new sponsor, Dave? Are they going to be upset?
Nope, not yet. Nope. No new sponsors.
Okay.
Still an ambassador for Athletic, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay. You think?
Well, they keep changing the platform. It's really hard to keep up with.
Well, you know what's interesting is that when they started, they were just kind of like another, like, hey, it's like Riverbend, and now they've like taken over the world.
Oh, they're huge. They're huge.
But they weren't when they started sponsoring OCR athletes.
No. Like I remember, like there was a ton of those. Aaron Newell was an Athletic Brew guy for a long time.
Right. I think they cut me a check or two. I think they sponsored a few of my podcasts. I can't remember.
Yep.
I can't even remember that you did a live stream with me with Alec Blennis.
There you go.
Well, the other reason I love Canada is because it looks like I will be joining you at a 2-day HYROX event. Would you like to tell the folks about it?
At a 2-day HYROX event? That would be, is it 2 days? It is 2 days. That's correct. It's not a HYROX event. It's a sim.
Sorry, HYROX Sim. Yes, HYROX Sim.
Yeah, down in Windsor, Ontario. For those of you who don't know who Windsor is and you're in the States, it's right across the river from Detroit.
Right.
So it's practically in America. But yeah, it's full HYROX. It's on the University of Windsor field, which is outside, but apparently they're making precautions for bad weather, whether it be really, really hot or raining or stuff. So they are making some precautions. But yeah, I will be there officiating, and very much so in a lead official manner. And are you going to run, Matt? Are you going to go and run?
Well, you know that I don't travel without actually doing the event, Dave. That's part of it. It's part of the deal. Is I will definitely I will definitely do the event.
Should I pre-reserve your box
To judge me?
No, your box, so that you make sure you go to depth on the squat.
Dude, my wall balls are
I'm
so
gonna
much better. My wall balls have improved so much, Dave. You will be so proud of me.
I would be very proud.
Well, I mean, I was going to ask if you have time to run doubles with me.
I honestly don't know. I don't. They've asked me if I'm going to run or not, and quite frankly, it'll depend how the day goes. I'll decide on the day because to me, my priority and my main purpose to be there is to make sure that the judging goes well, and I want to make sure it goes well. And I do the same with DEKA. When I go to the DEKA events, I'm always like, I will maybe run today, and that's the way it is. But if I get time, I will run. If I don't, I won't, because I want to. You know what? And I said this to them. I said I want to. I'm going to be tyrannical. Like. I don't want any healer videos out of this thing. I want them to look I want this to be called.
Well, let's define tyrannical, because in DEKA, you're just fair. I would call you tyrannical. You're fair. Isn't that what we want? Fair?
Yes. And that's
what I mean. You're not going to judge harder. You're not going to be a smaller,
I'm going to judge
target.
No, not a smaller target, not a higher expectation, just no exceptions. Adaptive being different.
Right. Well, much like you do for DEKA, I think Sunday would be the time to do a double. So maybe we'll do a doubles on Sunday.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see what it's like. It's like I said, it all depends for me. It always depends on how everything's going. Right. And that's the nature of the beast.
You're 100% going. I'm 95 at this point. But I still thought I'd say I love Canada.
It's a good place. We're okay. We're all right.
It is a good place. But here's the thing. I was looking at flying into like Detroit versus there's a small airport. There's a small airport where you are. And I was like, oh, because a lot of times, in the old days, we would all rent cars and drive to these OCRs. But nowadays, you just do an Uber. But apparently, according to chat, Uber drivers do not want to cross the border. You got to have like an official shuttle to cross the border. So if you are going to fly to Canada, don't think you can, or fly to Detroit, don't think you can just hop in an Uber and go across, because they won't take you.
So, but rental cars are expensive, right?
Sometimes, yes.
So here's the trick.
Okay.
Because Detroit's not far from Windsor.
It's literally across the road,
right?
Across the water.
So you rent a U-Haul truck. Because a U-Haul truck is $20 a day.
Is this true?
Now you got to pay when you go for a certain amount of kilometers, but it's not, for miles, right? Well, Matt's having a coughing fit here. So yeah, it's $20 a day, and then you pay for your mileage, right? A certain amount of mileage, but it's not far. So you won't rack up very many miles. So you'd only pay $20 a day to get whatever mileage to get across. You'd probably maybe do a little run while you're in town. Going to be way cheaper than a regular rental car.
Is this a thing that people have done? This sounds amazing.
I got this from Carolyn Prevost.
Oh, well.
She did it when she went to some of the CrossFit Games qualifiers, and I think maybe even the games itself. She couldn't find a rental car, so she went and got a U-Haul truck.
Okay. I will do some research on this.
Yeah. It's not like it's a criminal act. It's fine. They don't care what you do.
No, I mean, no, it's fine. Just drive your little box truck. And listen, you
can get a regular pickup from U-Haul.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because it could double as your bed. You could sleep in the.
Oh, yeah, you could totally do that. Well, because you can get a regular van from U-Haul too, and you could just use that and you sleep in it. There you go. Really saving. Now that's the kind of thing I do. But yeah, it should be a good event. It could be a lot of fun. I think they're selling quite well, especially with Toronto being locked out.
But remember a few weeks ago, we were saying like, oh, nobody can do full sims. Apparently that has gone way out the window. Everybody's doing full sims.
Well, we've said it before. You can't copyright a workout.
Right. But HYROX, if you're an affiliate, can tell you what you can do and not do, just like DEKA can.
Yes.
But HYROX was saying you couldn't do full sims. But now they're saying, go for it. We don't care. Just don't tell people it's a HYROX race. Just say it's sim and we're fine.
I think they learned they couldn't fight that. That all they would be doing is taking away an advantage from their affiliates and giving it to non-affiliate gyms. Right? So if they're telling their affiliates you can't do full sims because we don't want you to, and then other gyms who are non-affiliates can run full sims and just not call it a HYROX, you're all of a sudden handcuffing your own affiliates and letting other gyms have an advantage. So why would I sign up to the HYROX affiliate when the non-affiliate gym is the one that does full sims? So,
but isn't that what DEKA's doing?
What's that? With what?
you can't Amber not do these big giant DEKA events anymore at another venue that's not her gym?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how their ruling is with that, but it's I think their affiliate program's a little bit different, right?
But I'm saying it's counterintuitive. Yancey should say, "Are you doing a DEKA event? Awesome. What can I do to support you?" Not, "You can't do that because we do road shows." Because that's what I heard they do.
I can't,
unless they're doing a road show that weekend or within the weekend of your neighborhood. I think it should be fine. They should let people do whatever they want.
I do too, but and like I said, I don't know behind the scenes if they have that or not. So they might, and if they do, then I agree. I agree with you. I would say if somebody, especially in another country, wants to host one, you let them do it. Okay. Right? I mean, I don't see a downside. Right?
Yeah, I don't either, but I thought that's what Amber told us. And I think other gym people have told me that. Listen, Dave, you're on the payroll. Go fix that.
I'm actually not on the payroll. I'm a contractor.
You're on the whatever. All right, Dave, I think we covered everything.
Yep. You know what? Bad news for you.
What's that?
You're not going to find out who Cheryl's celebrity was.
Oh, God damn it.